We are now live. All right, gentlemen, welcome to season 2 of Faux Fantasy. Never thought we'd be here, huh? Jesus Christ. Well, to all of our viewers out there in the big wide world, hope you're all staying safe, staying sober, doing whatever you can to, make the time pass. As you can see, the co-host Joe Kinder's out in the field playing the woodlands. You said playing some golf. We're joined today by Jake Spiller. We're gonna let.
Hey, thanks for having me, Neil.
Yeah.
Oh.
And our current reigning champion, Mr. Nate Logue.
How's it going?
It's going great, Nate. And you notice how I did not refer to Jake Spiller as Commissioner Spiller anymore. Jake, why don't you fill us in a little bit on that, huh?
Yeah, so as you know, there's been some news out in the media for a while throughout the off season, and talked to the family, sat down with some close friends, and put a lot of thought into it. Had some back and forth, but I think I've made the right decision. And I want to let you guys know, you might have heard this quote before from Leonardo DiCaprio in The Wolf of Wall Street, but I'm not fucking leaving.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm not fucking leaving.
So
the commission's back. Year 10, we're coming in strong. It's going to be bigger and better than ever.
You're coming back as commissioner. Is that what I'm trying to understand?
That is correct.
Wow. Heard it here first, folks. That is big news. That blows up my fucking episode right there, because I'll tell you what. I honestly... I was gonna come in here guns a-blazing asking Nate what his plans were, because he had an honest to God run at going at commissioner this year. That was what his goal was in the group.
Sorry, Neil. Sorry to cut you off, but it's hard to hear you. My phone is blowing up right now.
Oh yeah, no, I muted Joe, so I don't know if you did or not.
Oh, I'm just saying with the ESPN updates that just leaked, you guys are quick.
I got some interns this summer, and fortunately, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. So, I mean, wow, that's
you
huge.
got Trey interning for you this year?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I did not. Nate, how are you feeling about this right now, knowing that we got the same commissioner coming back? What is it? Are you going to go for the title again? I take it. I mean, that's all you really have to look forward to at this point, because I mean, you can't take the seat. You can't take the
Neil,
throne.
I'm actually very happy to see the commission come back. He's done such a fantastic job all the way through this point, even with some hiccups last year and some turbulence, the way he handled the season. And to know the current situation going on with COVID-19, having to not step into that role at the current time is actually quite a relief. And knowing that I can just continue to focus on winning another championship.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nate. I appreciate your support in that.
Yes, sir.
I noticed that pretty ass trophy is sitting right behind you on the mantelpiece.
Oh, it is. It's found a permanent home.
Care to give us a little glance of that fine piece of gold? Let us know. Every good video starts off with a guy getting up from a computer like that. I tell you what.
Where are your co-hosts today, Lumberjack?
I mean, Hogan is obviously
budget cuts with the whole COVID outbreak. Funding's a little low.
No, Jack has decided to take some time and reflect a little bit and spend some quality time with the family. He'll be back by next episode. And obviously his mantra and his hot takes and his overall ego will be back, and guns a-blazing. He'll be there to shut your ass up.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, he spent some time abroad this past off season. Not really sure where. He refused to tell me, so we'll be sure to find out. But as you can see, Joe is spending his leisure time on the course, so getting his handicap down. But Nate, you've returned back to the old seat there. Let's take a gander.
Here she is. She's been treated quite well.
Wow. You just polished her, didn't you?
Very shortly ago.
You son of a bitch.
Wow.
I've got to go in and get her plated.
Oh, Joe sees it. No. You sack of shit, you.
Wow.
Get a nice engraving with the first championship. Going to Coach Logue, Coach Nate Logue. Not to
God.
be confused with Super Bowl loser Coach Elliott Logue.
I don't know about you, Neil and Joe, but just seeing that, I am ready to run through a brick wall to get that back in my hands.
God, if I just wouldn't draft like a blind kid, I don't know. God, I'm gonna get some hate for that one.
Just remember, you are on the air, Neil.
People can see my face now.
Cheers.
People can see my face now. So I take it you're not drinking and driving, Joe, right?
That's right.
See, I really want to hold back on the fines this year, but on camera, on TV, Joe, come on.
Yeah, I
man.
kind of forgot. I kind of hope we don't air this one, right? I kind of hope it's more of a practice run.
Boy, this is going to be an interesting season. I'll tell you what. With this whole Zoom aspect added to the old podcasting, YouTube variations, I think this is just going to make for some great content, great TV atmosphere. And I'll tell you what, I'll do you guys one better. I got a guy, Joe hooked us up one. You guys might remember from last year, Tanis Stock. He's doing some great merchandising sales. He's got a whole new lineup of T-shirts and hoodies coming our way. And the whole aspect of what our league is about, he's just marketing like a whiz. So look for that.
Some OFFL gear.
OFFL, whatever you want to call it, faux fantasy, just it's gonna be coming out hot.
Great news.
Yeah.
So Nate, while we have you on here, you being, the winner of the league, just a great leader of the league, you're always looking out for the best interest. We are falling on some hard times in the league office. We're working through some things as far as the restart of this year. Just want to pick your brain. It's still up in the air whether the season will continue per the original schedule, but just want to get your thoughts on kind of where we're at and any advice you would have or suggestions on kind of the route our league takes.
Well, I would say as long as the players are safe and the owners are being safe, there's no reason not to continue. We're seeing the success with the NBA and the MLB in the bubble, and I think we just need to do that, get these players in a bubble, and keep the COVID away.
I agree, and again, we're pushing everything we can, but there are the doubters out there thinking that it may not go per plan. So we are working on some things to if it doesn't go, we still will have a fantasy platform, whether that be reality, real NFL, or maybe the virtual platform with some Madden. So that's a backup option.
That's intriguing.
Joe, how you playing over there?
Actually, first few holes were going pretty well. Last hole didn't go so well. I broke my 3 hybrid.
Oh, hate to see that.
Yeah.
Newton. Ah, shit.
No, my golf game's getting better, guys. Day by day, it's getting better. We'll have to Neil, my compadre, my media compadre, we'll have to hit the link soon and just sort of talk business. We're sort of a Phil Simms, Jim Nance kind of duo. So
Chris Collinsworth all the way. I just got that raspy voice. Not. So I do have to ask you, now that you're the commissioner, and obviously you're calling your shots. Well, first off, I never voted you in, so
That's interesting you say that, Neil. And one thing I've been thinking about too. Like I said, I put a lot of thought into this on whether I was coming back or not.
I don't.
There's always the thought of if the league were to go to someone else's hands, if I would stick around, right? I like to compare myself kind of to Dana White. So not only did I create the league and get it to where it is now, but I also put on a show, and that's just as intriguing to the fans as the league.
But I'll ask you this one. You've kind of created this self-governing entity at this point. You know, it's kind of just a snowball effect. You know, it's gotten so big that it's even got its own media publication.
And on that point, I'd just like to point out that about half of your podcasts have my name in the title, so that kind of says something to whose league this is, Neil.
Well, half of that last season just had to do with the fact that you were always the topic of controversy, really. And on that point, you relinquished your title as commissioner. What gives you the governing body and authority to just kind of take that back? Because you really don't have that.
I think that solely comes down to the login and password. So as long as I got that, I'm the king, baby.
You're a real sack of shit. You know that? You're a real sack of shit.
So Neil, again, last season we had our bumps in the road. Did some banter back and forth, and I do want to start off this season kind of on a new leaf. I saw you took a family trip recently. It was good to see you took some time off mid to late June, I believe.
Good to know you're stalking my feeds, but that's okay. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying I realized that, and it's funny because June 18th I was actually outside Aussie's. I had my mask, I had my gloves, and I was ready to go. And you were a no-show. So, you want to speak to that?
I take it you're discussing about the fight.
Yeah,
For those of you listening,
for.
watching, our dear commissioner here challenged yours truly to an actual boxing match. If you follow us on Instagram, there was information that would have led you to the actual, to the place in choice in which we discussed actually where we were going to fight. Date, time, no stipulation, true to form fight.
And then COVID hit and yada, yada, yada.
I thought the fight was over, Jake.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to risk my health.
I respect that. And again, new leaf. I'm ready to put all that behind us and focus on a new year, new season.
Why can't you be able to? Why could you know what? Why can't you be more like Nate? I see him down there on my computer screen, bottom corner. He's got a trophy, and you know what? Doesn't talk, but you know what he's got? He's got a trophy.
Talks for me.
I agree with that. And I mean, that's all we're setting out for. He's got all the bragging rights right now.
You know, as current champion and owner in this league, I have a question for you. And this also pertains to Coach Kinder as well. Coach Kinder and I actually met up with two other league owners and a disgraced former league owner at a bar to have some cocktails and, discuss, things as friends. And unfortunately, one of them may have had too much to drink. And I know he's a very, very religious person, Church of Joe Rogan.
Oh, my God.
He began to cite some things about Alex Jones and say some pretty messed up things. And I know Coach Kinder did an excellent job holding his tongue. And both of
I
us were
remember
very
this.
taken aback and shocked.
This was a while ago.
I know. But I thought it needed to be brought to the league's attention about some of the outrageous things that were said by
Yeah.
coaches. And I'm wondering where the league stands on comments about race and about Alex Jones and his nonsense.
I don't
your
want to
thought-
quote him, but did he say that Alex Jones makes some good points? Something
did.
along those lines.
I think he said 20% of the things Alex Jones says needs to be taken seriously.
That's right.
Is this person a part of our league at this point? did you-
Yes. He was a playoff it's a playoff coach from last year. I don't think this man's ever missed a Joe Rogan
That
podcast.
looked nice.
Tough pill to swallow, knowing that there's a man like that in our league.
I just want to get the commission's thoughts and what he plans to do and what the league's stance on these kind of things is.
You know, I don't have enough information on this conversation, or I don't know how long ago this was. But yeah, there's no official reports that have came out other than these allegations I'm hearing now. So maybe the league office, with your help, could dig into it a little bit and bring it to light. But again, I don't have much to speak on, as this is the first time I'm hearing that.
Well, you'll figure out who the coach is because he will ask you almost immediately, have you ever tried DMT? Just like Joe Rogan does. So
So is this an accusation towards his character or some of the narcotica that he's ever tried?
for a league owner who's been
Is it-
so well respected for so long, and now to be saying these kinds of things, especially with what's going on in our country right now. And I know my team has been asked to change their name. Apparently it's considered offensive to children. And
Can you repeat
we
your
have
name?
currently changed our team name to the Tumwater Football Team. And we'll be coming out with a new team name shortly in the future. I know the league is very serious about our being PC and progressive. And as other owners are taking steps forward, are we really going to allow other owners to take steps back and ask about DMT?
And you were not the only organization to go through a forced name change this off season. So sounds like that's kind of a sparking, many people out there in our world.
This kind of leads me to another question I had for the commissioner. It was more on the serious note. I had planned on aiming these questions towards potential Nathaniel Logue because he was in his more commissioner run. But is there some more newer policies that you're planning on implementing this upcoming season? I know I had given you a lot of heat. There was a lot of heat to be given during last season. A lot of collusion that was definitely thrown around quite a bit. There was quite a few arguments in the text threads, but waiver wire, trades, name changing, stuff like that. What kind of policies are you going to throw in there?
So yeah, in a minute here, I'd actually like to open up the floor to Nate. Being a league owner, he has just as much say in this league as I do, so I think it would be fair to direct questions at him. On that note, from a league standpoint, we've been focusing most of the off season just trying to get back to football, making sure we have the measures and safety protocol in place to make that happen. So as far as new, policies or kind of things to make the game more interesting or a little more competitive, we're really just focusing on getting football back, and that's the top thing on our mind right now. I guess, Nate, if you want to speak on that, any things that you would recommend or things that you think could spark interest with other league owners this year?
Well, one thing I know we talked about at the end of the year, and especially at our postseason owners meeting, was about the champion choosing draft location. And I don't know if a live draft is the best way to go with what's going on right now, but I know it's about a month away. And with talks of no preseason, I don't know when the best time to draft would be. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for you for holding off on picking a draft day until we have more information on really what's going to go down and when the season's actually going to start. And I'm just wondering, even if we do an online draft, what is it all going to look like? It's just, there's so many question marks. Who knows?
And I know Max Stottlemyre poked some fun at the old commish earlier this week in the text thread with surprised we are usually drafting in May, which I agree with him. I do get a little giddy and set an early draft date, but I know some of those guys, the Max Stottlemyres, Alex Johnsons, they like to wait until the end of the preseason for injuries, but with the no preseason, it bodes well for us, no injuries, so it gives the guys a little bit more time to prepare and stay healthy.
Now, Nate, I've gotten a lot of flack from various media sources and press, especially after last season. They tended to think that I gave you a lot of, got a lot of leeway, and frankly, that they kind of came out and said I was on your side a lot. A very unbiased opinion was not what I had. Now, I'll come out and ask you this. Where do you stand with Connor Schultz, especially after last season's one-on-one solo interview that you and I conducted right around the Halloween time, where you singled him out, you called him out, and it was a very impactful interview that you had, and a lot of threats were thrown. Did you carry through? People want to know. Because, you're still standing here. You're looking real pleasant. You got the trophy. But obviously your anger towards him did not carry over to this next season. And frankly, it's, people want to know. So.
Well, as far as Coach Schultz and I go, let's just back it up to that interview. And, I called out Coach Schultz, told him he's the Houston Texans of our fantasy football league. And just like the Houston Texans folded up 24-0 against the Bills, Connor Schultz folded up 18 points with just Carson Wentz to play. And, I remember pacing around my living room, just praying for a miracle. And sure enough, the Houston Texans of our league, Connor Schultz, folded again. True to his character, true to his nature, folded. And I believe we bet $20 on that. I haven't seen any money. We can go back to the interview. It might have been 10. I'm not sure. Maybe 100. Let's just call it 200. I haven't seen a dime. So that was a little concerning, and I think a little bit childish for him to not just immediately hand me money. But, that being said, I would say about 2 months ago during the whole COVID thing, I know Coach Schultz reached out to me and asked me how I was doing, how the season's going. I recently switched facilities to a facility here in Tumwater. And, he was asking me about that. And, it was really just very cordial and polite, and good to hear from him in a positive note. So Coach Schultz and I think, stand on positive footing. Great guy. He's just going to fold again this year in the playoffs. But good luck to him. Hopefully he finds a breakthrough this year, just not against me.
So you openly admit to under-the-table sports gambling?
When you bet on your own team, and it's not really betting when you're going to win. You're taking money from someone else.
You do know that we have the commissioner on the other line. He's hearing everything you're saying right now.
This was all live in the interview, and I wasn't reprimanded during the interview. Reprimanded, excuse me. I think it's a little
you're just
irresponsible to try and reprimand now.
You're just incriminating yourself more.
The evidence has been out for a long time, and it's been in plain sight.
You're so lucky that it's just me that you're talking to right now, and it's not Hogan, You're lucky Joe is on the course right now because, frankly, you would be eaten alive. I'm surprised the commissioner hasn't stepped in and said something at this point.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, Nate just Coach Logue just openly admitted to absolutely sports betting on himself last season, and
Wow. Were you betting? Was he betting on himself to lose?
no, he was betting on himself to win. But I mean, still, just the aspect of sports gambling, betting on himself against Coach Schultz, and that's what ultimately led to his fury.
Is that when he
And
was on
his
hiatus in
win.
Vegas? Dennis Rodman.
That's when he came back, and it looked like he'd just been eating nothing but Dunkin' Donuts for a couple of weeks.
He
I
just
look like
said,
that a lot.
he said, hey, Commissioner Spiller, I need a vacation. What can I say? I need a vacation.
You know what he said? We let him go, and look what he's holding on his desk right there.
Okay. Commissioner Spiller said, hey, he's a loose cannon. Go take a vacation.
Can you read that, Neil?
Hold on, boys. I got to go hit this tee shot.
Hit a good one for me.
I will.
So if we had an early favorite for this upcoming season, who do you think it would be? Just based on attitude, effort in the offseason, and who's been hitting the weight room. Ultimately, who has the best, utmost heart for this upcoming season? That's what I'm going with.
You know what? I think we all anticipate both the Logues and Johnson in the top 3, top 4 every year. Johnson, we know, can never finish. You know what? I think this is the year of a sleeper. It's a weird year with how the season's going to start. I think it's going to be, one of the sleepers coming in and winning this thing. Trey puts in a lot of time. He may not have the most talent, but he does work his ass off. And you know what? He might have a good draft, and he might come out of nowhere and shock the world. So I think my early season sleeper is going to be Trey.
Really, that's a bold prediction. He frequents he frequents the studio that I use as a facility here pretty often. So I can vouch and say that his time is not very well spent studying the boards and looking at what players are doing. So
Spends a lot of time on the TikTok.
he's known to floss. Is that the dance the kids are doing these days? Floss?
Yeah, they were doing it in 2018.
I don't know, but just making sure he's not around. You never know. But yeah, I would, if I was a betting man, which I'm not because I respect the rules. I would bet him.
Is that a cheap shot?
Hell of an approach.
I don't know what to say here.
Birdie putt here, guys.
Oh, birdie bottle. Get it
I
ready.
chipped that one.
It's getting hot here.
The Wii Golf
Would you
says
chip?
chip it.
It's just getting
It's
hot
downhill.
here.
It's downhill, though. It's downhill. I don't want it to run too much. Yeah, that's true. Hey, my partner said no outside or inside, so I gotta take an 8 on this hole. Thanks a lot, guys.
Hey Joe, pick up the game a little bit. You're really showing out for our studio right now. Not really.
Hey, I'm still learning, man, but I'm getting better.
Can you get your buddy
Hold
to
on.
hold the camera for you while you sink this birdie putt?
Yeah, I'm just gonna put it down for a sec. I'm just gonna show you guys some sky.
Beautiful.
So
Absolutely
Nate, while we
gorgeous.
wait for that, I'm interested to see who you think is gonna win the league this year.
Well, actually, the man putting the ball right now is my sleeper to win the league this year.
Didn't he start off like 0-8?
I don't think so. He made the playoffs.
He didn't. No, he
Mr. Kinder didn't make. I swear he did make the playoffs.
he didn't win a game.
Interesting. Well,
That a
maybe
birdie?
I'm thinking of a different year. But
That's how I got like one of my only wins.
Oh, what's up, Joe?
I know Coach Johnson's always hungry. I kind of agree with Coach Spiller. He's destined for third or fourth place every year. That seems to be where he's most comfortable. Speaking of my brother, I don't know. He just chokes. Man just chokes. That's tough. I still think Coach Kinder's about to have a ballin' draft this year. I know he's been hitting the boards. I know his team is always working. He follows Coach Roth's words to a T. And let's be real, if Coach Roth was the head coach when we were in high school, how many championships would be on that wall? 12, 14?
At least.
Wow.
Well,
I've been in close contact. I've been in close contact with Coach Roth actually, and we've been actually talking a lot of strategy for fantasy football.
That's dangerous. That's dangerous. Putting the rest of the league on notice.
So Neil asked the question, who you think has the best chance at winning the league this year? Who do you think the dark horse is?
Well, I don't think I'm a dark horse, but I think it's me.
All right. You've been putting in some work?
Of course, dude. The guys, the rookies coming in this year, I've been watching since they were fifth graders. I'm serious. So I know this rookie class really well, and basically all I've been doing during quarantine is just kind of picking Mel Kiper's brain, Adam Schefter's brain, and just sort of seeing where they're at. And so, yeah, I've learned a lot, and I think I have a really good shot this year. Three. I mean, you don't have to give me the birdie. I mean, it was pretty hot. The pin was still in, you know, and there's the foam things in the cups.
If the pin wasn't in, it would have been cooked. If the pin was in, it still would have missed like it did.
If the pin was in.
Neil, what are your thoughts?
Dude, it's a 3. It's a 3.
My absolutely unbiased opinion.
Please.
I'm gonna come out and say it right now. I'm going by a whole different mantra this year. You know, every year I've always wanted to come out and just have fun, enjoy my friends. This year, if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
You know, Neil, with a lot of accusations out there, I don't know if that's what the fans wanted to hear.
Look, man, I'm media, all right? That's numero uno, okay? So
Clearly by
I'm always here to just take care of this. This is first and foremost. But when it comes down to my team, this is me stepping out of the booth. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get the W. If that means screwing over a couple people, I don't care.
Trading away your best running back?
If that means
whatever it takes.
I'm pretty sure that was Alex Johnson who did that.
And if that means just absolutely ruining the board and having everybody just getting pissed off because the waiver wire is all messed up, there's just random players here, random players there, I don't care. If that means tanking a game, I'll do it. I don't care.
Interesting strategy.
I'll
really
do
putting the league on notice.
I will do what it takes to get into the playoffs just so that I can get that gold trophy.
You sure that tanking games is the way to get yourself in the playoffs there,
That's
bud?
a great path.
You know what? The way we play fantasy, it's so weird and it's so just misunderstood. I don't even understand it sometimes. Sometimes you need to win a game against a certain player. It's just like that, all right? You don't have to win every single game. You just have to win the right games, okay? That's how I go.
Good point. Hey, you know what, Neil? I'm going to have to step off here, sign out in a minute, but it was great to see you guys. I couldn't be happier that the podcast is back rolling for season 2. So I just want to congratulate you on that, and really just can't wait for football and fantasy. The best time of the year is coming up, and more importantly, just seeing all you guys again. I look forward to signing in and seeing all our good friends on at one time.
You know, we're gonna have to see how many people we can get in on the old Zoom calls, but we're gonna try to keep it limited. Definitely, for sure. And yeah, look forward to having Joe and Jack on here next time and seeing what they have to ask you, because that'll be a riot. And stay out of trouble, Commissioner, because we all know.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. Okay. You're wearing
All right, boys. Cheers. Great to see you.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Kamish.
Hey, see you later.
He gave himself a job, so he's now in dictatorship. That's all I got out of that.
Unbelievable that he just took the job back like that.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked. Pretty fucked.
I mean, I can't wait to kind of unpack this more, when I'm not on the course, but
No, I understand. This is definitely some absolutely just gut-wrenching news, and frankly, when the league finds this information out, I don't like. Yeah.
yeah, they don't even know yet because we don't have anybody else, joining, right?
No, this is it. This might be our first episode. Stay tuned. This was more or less a trial run of this new Zoom variation of our show, and this is our first version with video. So we're gonna let everybody go here. Yeah, stay tuned. The season is just beginning, and lots to unload. Joe, you still with us?
Dude.
You still there?
Yeah. Did you ask me something?
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and hang it on up, okay?
All right. Hey, thanks for looping me in, even though I'm out here on the golf course. Hope I could, contribute a little bit of entertainment for the fans, and next time I won't be out on the golf course, and I'll be able to dive in a little deeper. But it was great to see everybody, man.
Hey,
Great to see you,
worries.
Coach Kinder.
Always a pleasure.
All right.
All
Good luck
right.
for the rest of the game. Thanks for having me, Neil. Bye, gentlemen.